Okay. So again, these are all very classic Maimarim, because it's the beginning of what we call the oral Torah of Hasidus. We spoke about it last night. The Tanya is like sort of in its own plane of existence when it comes to Hasidus. It's not like a regular book in that it says there's not one letter added or missing. So it's sort of like this document which has everything in it. The Tanya, right? It took the Alter Rebbe many years to write it. There's a famous story where it says in the Tanya itself. So the Rashbi was in the cave. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was in the cave for 13 years. What was he doing all the time? Well, obviously, he was only learning day and night, 24/7. And he wrote the Zohar in there. But it says in the Tanya that it only took him a few months to write the Zohar. Because certainly he didn't repeat anything twice. He just wrote it. The rest of the time he was reviewing the Mishnayos, basically, for 13 years, non-stop. So the same is true of the Tanya. In other words, the Alter Rebbe, if you know about the Alter Rebbe, he was a new neshama, something like an uncredible being that never existed before. So why does it have to take him 20 years to write the Tanya? It's like Mamish Matan Torah. What's in the Tanya, there's not a letter added, a letter missing. It's sort of like this document which contains all of the Torah of Hasidus. So comes this book, Torah Ohr and Likutei Torah, which is its counterpart. It goes through the Parshas, and it starts to like open up and break down the ideas of the Tanya. It's called it's the beginning of the oral Torah of Hasidus. The Tanya is called the written Torah of Hasidus. So just like the written Torah, if you look at it, it's fascinating, but you don't really have any idea what it says, because you need like the Mefarshim and the commentaries and everything to explain that. So this is the Mefarshim and the commentaries that explain really what Hasidus is. Anyway, so we're already in the second Parsha, Parshat Noach, and it starts off with a pasuk from Shir Hashirim. Ma'im Rabbi lo yuchlu lechabos es ha'ava. Yeah, you learned this one. Mighty waters are not able to extinguish the love. V'naros lo yishtafua, and rivers cannot put it out. Imi ten ish as kol hon beso, if a person would give all the wealth of his house ba'ava for love, boz yevuzulo, they would embarrass him. Say, you can't buy me love, basically. Right? This is basically the notion that we're going to see. You have this tremendous inner love that cannot be extinguished. Okay, so this is the pasuk. And Alter Rebbe begins, Hine Maim Rabim Hem Kol Tirdos HaParnasa. What does it mean, the mighty waters? We have some businessmen over here, so it's good to know. The mighty waters represents all the burden of Parnasa, of making a living. It's called the mighty waters that are coming after you. Machshavos shebinyani olam hazeh. And all the thoughts that you have for worldly matters. It's like a flood streaming into your mind, distracting you essentially, and flooding you from seeing the truth consistently. The second you walk out of the base medrash, or unfortunately even sometimes when you're in the base medrash, your mind is being flooded with worldly matters. And this is called flood waters, the mighty waters. The im kol zeh lo yuchel lechabos sa'ava. And the pasuk comes to tell you that even mighty waters cannot extinguish the love. Now, this love that you have for God, no matter how many foreign thoughts, machshavos zaros, and foreign thoughts that you might have, they can't extinguish, they can't put out your basic love that you have for God. Shu b'chinas hava mesuteres. This is a love which is called the hidden love, sheyesh bechol nefesh miYisrael b'teva, that every Jew has by nature, this deep inner love for Hashem as part of your makeup. M'bechinas nefesh elokis. And this comes from the godly soul that was placed in us, and we got from a Yerusha, from a inheritance from Avram Avinu, basically. So we just have this thing in us that we didn't earn it, we didn't do anything to get it, except that you're born Jewish, and you have inside of you a nature to love God, no matter what. What is the nature comprised of? Teva la'alos v'chalel tamid lamayla. It's a nature to continuously want to go up and be included above. Like a flame that goes up by itself. In other words, you are a flame basically inside. And the nature of a flame is that it's constantly trying to get off the wick. It's constantly trying to remove itself from being stuck down and trapped inside of a physical existence. And whether you're aware of this or not, sometimes you're not aware of it because the floodwaters can be completely drowning you, but it never actually is able to extinguish this because you have it as by nature. As it says right above this verse of Mayim Rabim, it says it says that there's a burning fire, a flame of Yud K. So this flame, this soul, which is like Yud K, basically the beginning of our soul, it's likened to a flame. In other places as well, we see that it says Ner Havaya Nishmas Adam. The candle of God is the flame of is the candle of God is the soul of a person, which means that our soul is likened to a flame, which means it's whether it's realized or not, it's constantly burning to leave all physical things behind, right? Because physical things is basically darkness of this world, and it wants to be included in constant stream of godly thoughts, wrapped up in godly delight. It wants to put everything aside and move to Sfas and join yeshiva. That's what the soul wants to do. Just sometimes it could be 50 years before you hear the call. But that's what your soul wants to do from the day one. And this is a flame that was given from above. Shia nefesh elokis. It's the godly soul. Shekodem hislafshusa beguf hagashmi. That before it entered itself and garbed itself into a physical body, haisanen is miziva shechina. It was in its heavenly abode, benefiting from the rays of the Shekhinah. Just sitting there enjoying the rays of the Shekhinah. It's like watching, you see kids sitting in front of a TV, just they can't pull their eyes off it. Imagine watching the Shekhinah. Right? What does that look like? And this is what the souls are all doing up there. They're just sitting there spellbound from a revelation of godliness continuously before they come into the body. And it was joined with the ultimate unity with the Ein Sof, with the unlimited light. And therefore, even once it comes into a physical body, and it gets involved, it has to get involved, no choice. Once you go into a physical body, you have to get involved in physical things, eating, drinking, parnas, everything you can imagine. And all of that is called mighty waters, because all physical things are a distraction from that basic experience of just enjoying the bliss of the Shekhinah. No matter what you have to go and do, it's something that's going to take your mind off. It's like a foreign thought. Im kol zeh lo yuchel chabos. It can still not, with all that, it has to come down and be constantly wrapped in a physical body, which means there's a continuous stream of mighty waters that you can't get rid of. It still can't put out this love. Milios tamid b'chines ava v'truka nifla, because it is by nature, it's a flame. It's like, imagine if you had a flame sitting in the middle of an ocean that can't go out. So no matter what you're going to do to it, it's sitting in the middle of an ocean. It's a magical flame that can't be put out even if it's in the middle of water. And this is this wondrous longing, la'los likalel lamayla, to go up and include itself back above in its heavenly abode where it came from. But adarabah, and here's the whole point of the Maimer. On the contrary, oidis slavshusa b'mayim rabim hanal, by garbing itself into this mighty waters, it can even get to a higher level from before before it came down to this world. In other words, even though it goes into this tremendous descent, and it's now covered in physicality, and it's constantly being streamed in with false and sheker, nonetheless, this move can stand it in a place higher than it was before it came down. Kasher Yizbar, as we'll explain. Okay. So he says like this. Ine b'chinas mayim rabim hanal. You able to follow along inside?
Yeah. I'm following. I mean, I can read it, but I can't translate.
Okay, so as you read it, you'll pick up the words.
Some of it I can translate.
Tomorrow I'm planning on making photocopies so you can write the words in as you go.